Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. I hope everyone's going to have an awesome day today, and I'm up with a DIY art bin project share, and I've only made one project because I got really carried away. But I also wanted to talk paper. People are always asking me which cardstocks do I use, so I've grabbed my most common ones to show you today. And also somebody requested a reminder for Snap Click Supply. Today is Dollar Wednesday. I will put that link below, and that's when you can go over to the Echo Park digital site and you can get some real bargains. And while you're there, just make sure you check out all of the packs, because they've got some gorgeous vintage stuff from people like Basic Grey, the Glitz Girls. I don't know if you remember those from years ago, maybe 10, 12 years ago now. You've got Fancy Pants, you've got Cosmo Cricket. You've just got a great assortment, and a lot of those colours and patterns are coming back into vogue. So, you know, if you can get them at a discount, do it and just print your own off. So anyway, we're back to paper and my paper, and this is what I use for watercolouring. This is from Walmart. It's a Jumbo Artist Pad. It's a B paper company. I hope that's not all blurred. There we go. Be Inspired. It's a watercolor artist studio pad. It's 300 GSM, and this is around $10, or it was. I actually have got 8 of these now, which I think is going to, you know, last me for life, for as long as I'm going to be on the planet. So that is what you're looking for. Be Inspired, and it's the watercolor artist studio pad. It's got the red bus and the telephone box on the front cover. I know it's really huge, so I can't, you know, fit it all into the camera. It's gorgeous quality for the money. It really is, and you get 50 sheets of 9 by 12. Right, my next most commonly used cardstock is the premium cardstock from Walmart. And it's $5.99 for 150 sheets, and you can see, I don't know if you can see the weight on there. Let me swizzle it around. I think it's £110, and this is what I use in my printer. So if you get a good look at the package there, it's a 94 bright, but I use this in my printer. I use it for stamping. I do use it for my markers. So that is, you know, my most commonly used one. For my card bases, we now go off to Amazon, and I use this stuff. Whoops, I nearly dropped the package then. And it's, I'll put a link to this below, I think, if I can manage to do it. International Accent. It's opaque digital, and this stuff is, the last pack that I bought, I believe, was $11.99 on Amazon, and I will try and get you that link, because there's different sellers doing different prices. And if I look at it at the base, so I can't show you because it's so big, it says Accent Opaque Digital, and it's £120, and it's 325 GSM. So it's exceptionally heavyweight. It's really good quality. This is the stuff that you can make your book covers with. If you put 2 of these sheets together and glue them, you've got the equivalent of your chipboard. So it's really good stuff. So anyway, I'm just going to pause for a second while I grab the stuff, because it is DIY art bin. Right, so people had asked to see the vintage egg with the bow and the doves kind of like carrying the egg, and I did, as I said at the beginning, I got carried away, but that's the die that I used, and I used my Tombow watercolour markers. And if you're using Tombow and you want to know the colours, this one is $9.90. I've used the 817, which is a lovely rose pink. 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 817 I've used the 553, which is a lovely powder blue. It might not show true on my camera. And then I use this sort of like golden yellow. It's not really orange. It's a sort of, I don't know, golden yellow, sunflower yellow, I guess you'd call it. And that's the 993. And I blended these two together, 158 and 133. And those are the greens. It's kind of like a darkish olive green, and then it's a little bit sort of like deeper than a lime green. It's not as bright, if you know what I mean. So what did I make and what did I get carried away with? Well, as it's Snap Click Supply Day, I have used Snap Click Supply in the background. Got the watercolor cardstock because, you know, to me it's so cheap that I can actually use it as a foundation. And then if I want to get, you know, one of my gold pens, I can go all the way around the edge, use a wet brush and give it a nice border if I want to. Here at the background is that lace embossing folder that I shared with you on Monday. If I can get a close up there. So that's got great detail. And I use the same rosy colour pink that I just showed in my pens to do the bow on the egg. And those are all the colours going on there. Now this one is the Walmart paper. This isn't watercolour cardstock. This is the Walmart paper. And you can see the kind of difference that you get. It's almost like I've used oxide rather than a sort of like fairly transparent watercolour, which is what you can see on the bow there. But I just think it's super, super pretty. And I also got to use my 2 doilies that I hauled a couple of weeks ago in that big bunch of dies that I bought. And I did one in tea dye and I did one in, I think that's sapphire blue. Yeah. So that is that dye. Let's get close. Just tickled it around with my watercolour brush. Really, really easy. And if you print off an image from the website when you buy your dies and just pop that in the bag with it, then you'll always know what the configuration is or should be. And I am going to measure that, but I cut out an extra little birdie in watercolour cardstock so that you can see that. And it's such a heavy quality one that your little pieces will stay inside. So before I would watercolour that, I would get a little bit of double-sided tape, only peel one side off and stick it there, and your eye is never going to drop out while you're watercolouring. But what I will say about watercolour cardstock is do your colouring first, especially if you like to layer up, because the bow is 2 pieces and then I've glued them together. But I coloured each of the pieces first, because if you glue them together first and then try to colour, your glue is going to act as a resist. So you're going to have areas on your cardstock that won't accept any colour. So do your colouring first and then you're gluing after. But it's just so lovely. I can see that on a little paper clip, you know, in my journal somewhere. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to pop it there in case it flies away. But I am now going to measure my egg. And as I say, it's one project because I got carried away, and I've done this as the configuration on the website, and it's 3 3/4 inches. I mean, you know, really, layer upon layer, and I just can't stop. I think I was probably one of those kids that you'd find snoring face down in a box of Crayolas, you know, 3 inches, because I'd worn myself out. Yeah, right. So that is what I got for you today. I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope showing the papers was useful for you. And don't forget to pop along to Snap Click Supply. Right, I haven't got a clue what I'm up with tomorrow. Probably some more DIY art bin, because I do have quite a few Easter dies. And there was a set of rabbits that I liked when I discovered these. So anyway, have an awesome day. As usual, all links below. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.